Welcome. In front of me is a SHARP Aquos S2, and today I will show you a couple of tweaks and tricks that you can do on this device. So starting off, we'll begin with the screen mode. So let's open up the settings app, and you can pull down the notification panel and you'll find this little gear icon right here. So you can just tap on it to go to settings. And from here, we want to go to the display. And then let's scroll down into the screen mode right here. And from here, by default, it's set to standard, but you can set it to dynamic. And I'm not sure how much difference it shows on the video, but it basically makes the image a little bit more saturated and looking a little bit more lively. You can also go back and you'll have color temperature right here, and also by default set to natural, but you can set it to cool, for instance, or warm. And as you can see, each one of them either makes it a little bit more bluish or yellowish. Personally, I think the natural looks the best. So that will be the first thing. Now, moving on, we're going to go into the game assistance, which if you're a person that actually plays games, it will kind of improve the experience of it. So let's go into the special settings right here, and then you'll have game assistant. As you can see, immersion level, you have a slider, which by default is set to metal. And what you can do right here is have basically the game assistant block notifications, messages, and stuff like that. You can see right here what it does. Okay, and then you can also turn it on right here and add games to the list. Now, I don't really have any games, but as you can see, it can, let's say for instance, set as a calculator being a game, even though it's not. But if you have a game, you can basically check it on like this, and then if it's enabled, it will basically, whenever you're playing that game or whatever, it will be blocking notification and other stuff. So it's a kind of nice way to not be interrupted if you're doing something that you're engaged in. So moving on, we're gonna go into the navigation buttons. So by default, they're also enabled, as you can see right here. So let's go into the soft key settings, which is right below. And number one, you can switch the orientation of them. So let's say back button is on the right side, which in my opinion feels a little bit more natural. And you can also have enable the fingerprint navigation function key. So you can see it will basically start using this, which it is enabled by default, but then you can also disable it, and as you can see, nothing happens. Now there's no way to actually, I think, hide it, the buttons right here, even though you have the fingerprint sensor, I think it is, right here, that you can use to basically go back, close stuff, and yeah, I don't think there's a way to substitute it only for this, but there's option regarding the button anyway, so that's a nice feature. Now moving on, we're gonna go into the animation reduction. Now there is no setting for it normally, like let's say in the newer phones, but it can be found in the developer options. So to enable the developer options, we need to go into About Phone, and from there find build number, which is right here, and tap it 7 times until you get the message, you are now a developer. And now when you go back once, you will have a new option above About Phone called Developer Options. You can tap on it, and from here scroll down to, let's see, yeah, there it is, Window Animation Scale, Transition Animation Scale, and Animation Duration Scale. So by default they're set to 1. You can change it to half speed or completely turn them off, or you can also increase the animation duration of each thing. And just as an example, the first one, which is the window animation scale, it's basically how quick the window pops up, this one, specific one, how fast it is animated. So if I set it to 0 or off, it will basically be instant. Now if I set it to, for instance, times 10, you'll see it going really slowly. Now Let me actually change it back to something like half speed. So then you have the animation transition scale and animation duration scale, and both of them are more suitable for how the animation is right here. So for instance, like I close it now, if I go to resend, it's kind of like fade in animation and this. So for instance, if I now change it to off and off, there is no more animations associated with it. It's just instant. And same goes if I just change it to ×10, you'll see the difference right now. So if I close this, you have really slow animations. So let's actually put it to something that is a little bit more usable. Okay, so that was another thing that I found fairly useful. And moving on to the last thing, it would be the face unlock, which there is an option to make it a lift to wake. So if we go back and you have the Face ID, let's actually start with adding a pattern. So I'm just gonna set one up really quickly. And now from the Face ID, you can add a face, and then you can have unlock method, rise to wake. You tap on here, you have options to choose rise to wake, wake to unlock, or slide to unlock. Now basically each one of them works a little bit differently, and honestly this is the best case scenario for use of this, because it's not the quickest one. Would be probably when you're using the phone during winter and you have gloves on and it doesn't really recognize or something, and you want to, for instance, unlock the device. You can just press the button, and after like a second or so, when it recognizes your face, it will automatically unlock the phone. So it's a fairly nice feature. And once more, let's actually go back here. You first need to enroll a new face and then have this checked on. So facial unlocking, and then choose whichever one you feel like it's the most suitable for you. So that would be basically all tweaks and tricks that I wanted to share with you. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.